Okay. I'm Lacey Wilcox. I'm an Emerald with Plexus Worldwide, but I'm super excited you guys are all hopping on to hear from these three ladies tonight. If you've been invited here, just know that it's out of the goodness of people's hearts because we want you to feel the blessing of Plexus like we have, the blessing of Plexus like we have. I'm just going to let Carrie take it away. Carrie, you can go ahead and start, and then you can pass it off to Carly.
Okay, hey guys. So I am currently sitting in my city park. We are at an outdoor concert and I walked as far away as I could from the stage. So hopefully everything is fine and you can hear me okay, but you'll probably see people passing in the background. So hopefully that's not too much of a distraction. So I'm going to get on and share my story with you guys. And I always feel very honored when I get to share this part of my Plexus story because while I 1000% believe in the products and I love them. And that's why I'm here ultimately. It's the business side of things that I could just talk all day about. So, to go back and tell you a little bit about how I got started, in early 2017, my dear friend Emily, who's on here, or actually, I don't know if she's on here, but anyway, my friend Emily approached me about the business and I respectfully told her no. And while I told her no respectfully. In my mind, I was like, heck no, I'm never doing anything like that. It was not even on my radar, you guys. And so I said no to the business. I said no to the products. And in early 2018, things had changed in my family. I had had a baby at the age of 40, and I had three other children as well. I was so exhausted, I could not stand it. So I skeptically said yes to the products. I began taking them. I realized very quickly it was what I needed. It was like the missing piece of the puzzle for me. It helped with my IBS and hypothyroidism symptoms. They were virtually non existent after that. And in 11 months in, I decided that I needed this in my life, but I no longer wanted to pay for them. And I knew it was possible to make enough money to at least get my products paid for. And while after I talked to Emily, I decided, you know what? Why not just see where it could take me? I mean, I know I can get my products paid for. Emily believes in me. She will be there for me every step of the way. If I'm open to this, if I'm coachable, let's just see what happens. And at that time in my life, other than having four kids and a husband and just a busy life, I also had multiple jobs that I was working, just trying to make ends meet, but also to be there for my family. And so I was exhausted with that as well. And I really wanted to be able to walk away from those, but knew that we couldn't financially. And so when I went in, I said, there's no back door. Let's go for it. And it wasn't very long that I realized that, you know what, maybe this could be that answer to prayer that I have been saying for 17 years. Because at that time, my oldest was 17. And from the moment she was born, I started praying for something that would allow me um, to say yes to my family more often, to make a substantial income, but also that would allow me to work my schedule, my work schedule around my family time. So basically, to make my own hours and to make really good money. And I thought that does not exist. But here it was, like there's this opportunity. And I'm thinking, well, let's just go for it. And when I started to treat it like a business, because here's the beautiful thing about this, y'all, you can set your own pace. You can set your own pace. You can decide, I want to shoot straight to the top as fast as I can, and I'm going to work and I'm going to give it my all. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be a straight shot. It's going to be more like this. But you can work, you can work it as often and as many hours in the day as you want. Or you can say, I love my job but I would also like to have more income to go and do the fun things or to buy the beach house or to go on the vacations or to, purchase the RV or whatever it is that you're wanting to do, but you don't want to take it out of your everyday funds. So let's jump forward to 2020, March of 2020. I lost a job. I was let go of my steady job. My other job that I had was cleaning houses. And when COVID hit, nobody wanted me in their house anymore. So I lost that job as well. So here I was with my Plexus job that I had been working a little over a year at that time. And I knew that I was going to be okay because I had been given this opportunity at a time where I believe God said, look, Carrie, this is for you and you're going to do this and you're going to make it work And you're going to be okay when these things happen that you don't see coming, but I know they're coming. And I am forever thankful and forever grateful that I have been able to say yes to my family more often. I have been able to be there to drop my kids off at school and pick them up from school, and to go on the field trips, and to say yes. I want to be the yes mom as many times as I can. So for me, I feel like as far as this opportunity goes, there have been so many blessings and so many things that have changed in my life since I said yes to the opportunity in late 2018. I have a beautiful community full of the most encouraging and uplifting and loving women that I have ever known. And I've had a lot of jobs, so that's saying a lot. I have grown personally in a way that I don't think that I have ever been pushed out of my comfort zone in order to even make those steps and to do those things. But the financial blessings for our family have been huge, and I haven't had to sacrifice the time for my family. And that to me has been the most important thing, because as we know, many times in a professional career, a lot of times in order to make the money, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice time from your family. You have to say no more often. That can be really hard to do when that's not your goal in life. I find it a huge blessing in order to be able to share this with other moms that might have that prayer that I had for so long. If that is something that is deep in your heart and your desire is to stay at home with your babies, but also provide for your family, I'll tell you, I looked for 17 years, you guys, and never did find anything quite like this. This has been amazing for me, amazing for my children to watch me do something that I truly love and that I'm truly passionate about, but that doesn't take away from me being their mom. So to me, that is the most important thing. Um, I would encourage you to talk to the person that invited you here tonight and just really think about it. Talk to your partner, see if this is something that could fit into your life. And I will say that anyone can do this. It may not be for everyone. This may not be what you're looking for right now, but anyone can do this, you guys. We all start, those that have made it all the way to diamond status, which is the top rank in our company, all started in the same place. So anyone can do this. And the person that invited you here invited you for a reason, and they'll be with you every step of the way and cheer you on. So thank you you guys for letting me share tonight. And Lacey, do you want me to pass it off to Carly? Okay, Carly, you're up.
Hi, everyone. My name's Carly. I am a nurse, and I started using Plexus, in like November of 21 is when I was expecting my second kiddo, and I just knew I needed to have a different pregnancy experience and postpartum experience. And so I reached out to my friend and got started. But to back all that up, of kind of what was in my mind when I decided I want to start sharing was, so since I am a nurse, and during COVID and all that stuff, there was lots of nursing shortage, and I mean, there still is, but my local hospital was doing these bonus programs, and I knew that I wouldn't have enough PTO to cover my full maternity leave. And so I decided to, while I'm in my second trimester, work all these bonus programs where I'm working so many 12-hour shifts in small windows of time. And there were 3 different ones that they rolled out, and I boom, 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 did them all. But as you can imagine, that took me a lot of hours away from my other kiddo that I already had. And I also quickly got burnt out. And then in December, okay, baby. Sorry, Dad is not here. He's actually picking up a big surprise for the girls that we had to get tonight. So you might hear them in the background. That's also one reason why I love this business is that I don't have to leave my home to work intentionally, which is something I could never do with my nursing job. And so in December, after all those bonus programs, I blocked all the staffing numbers because I just couldn't do that again. And then we bought a house, and if y'all are familiar with the Boise area, housing market's insane. But we did it. We got in the game, and 3 weeks later, we had our second baby after we moved in. And I just always had this vision as a mom. I grew up with a single mom, and she had to work 2 jobs and not a lot of extra money to go around. And so, not that my life wasn't full by any means, but I didn't do all the things that maybe I wanted to do. And so I've always had this vision that, you do better for your kids, I guess. You just work to each generation, right? And I found myself and my husband were looking at our new mortgage and all that stuff, and just all the extras maybe weren't gonna be as easy to do. And I just couldn't believe how, like, my husband's an engineer and I'm a nurse, and what world is that where there's not a lot of margin? And that's what this crazy economy now. And so I called up Hannah and I said, I think I'm ready to share. And, what does it take to do this? I just couldn't imagine leaving my babies any more than my part-time shifts. And I still wanted to be able to bring more income into our life, and felt like with a background in health and the desire to help people, that this was going to be a great outlet for me. And so, it's definitely blessed our life. And actually, I was able to make up some income gap of PTO that I didn't have from my hospital job while I was on maternity leave. And then again, few months later, or several months later, but I'm into this business now, I hurt my arm. And because I had a baby, I was still building up PTO at my career job, and I didn't have hardly any PTO after I hurt my arm. And so was also going to have time unpaid while I was out of work for 5 weeks. And it just gave such peace of mind that I had this other stream of income that I wasn't going to be going totally without. This is Adeline. And just that's really was a moment of it really sinking in of just how important multiple streams of income are, and just different ways that this blessing can impact families. And another fun thing is, we get to say yes more. Like, I was able to pay for all of Adeline's swim lessons for the summer with the money I made last month with Plexus. And that's just feels so good as a mom to be able to give my kids opportunity and say yes to those things, and to be able to go on vacations and not feel like we're having to tighten shoestrings other places. And yeah, saying yes, right? So yeah, like Carrie said, I'd encourage you to reach out to whoever invited you here and to have them walk you through what it looks like to do this opportunity. And at the end of the day, you really are impacting lives and improving health and wellness, and there's really nothing that is better than that. So anyway, that's my story.
Perfect. Abby, take it away.
Okay, I'm on my iPad. I've never done this on an iPad. So is it working? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Okay, yay. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm super excited to share my story with you guys. I've actually never shared my business story, so my heart's kind of like racing right now. And so I feel really excited to share it because it has made such a massive impact, and I was so against Plexus for so long. So I always really like to lead anytime I share my story with just how much skepticism I had. So my sister is kind of like the ringleader of this big whole team that we see here. And my husband and I unfollowed her for 3.5 years for talking about plexus. so it's always like, sometimes that's a piece of like, oh, I feel a little embarrassed, but at the same time, I know that so many people have done that before. I know I'm not the only one. So if you have been at a point where you're like, oh, if somebody talks about this dadgum pink drink again, or how everything has changed their lives, like, I get you because I was you. And I unfollowed because I was done seeing it. So, like I said, my name is Abby. My sister has been here for 3.5 years. We 6.5 at this point. We unfollowed her for 3.5. And so I have been on the products for just over 3 years. My husband as well. I am a now full-time stay-at-home mom. Thank you, Plexus. And prior to that, I just finished up my teaching career like 3 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago, as an elementary PE teacher. And my husband is a former exercise physiologist. So both of us have masters in kinesiology. So like World of Health, that's our wheelhouse. So we see my sister posting about this thing and we're just like, what is this? Like, gut health was not anything talked in any of our classes. So obviously it must be a scam. And of course, since this is some kind of like miracle pink drink, that's also got to be a scam of some kind. And bless her soul, what did she just sign up for? Like literally that's where we were. And so we're just like, no, no, no. So fast forward to about 3 years after she started sharing, she took her family from paycheck to paycheck to purchasing her dream home. Again, now she's in the Boise area, which we're about to be moving there in a few weeks. Also, thank you, Plexus. Holy cow. So that's a whole story there. But she took her family, like from counting pennies at the grocery store to make sure that they had enough for groceries to purchasing their dream home in those 3 years when my husband and I had unfollowed her. And so, while I wasn't really like following along, that caught my eye. Because my husband and I had started talking about wanting to start a family. Now, being a full-time teacher at that point, you're just stuck. You don't have much time off. You don't have, like, you're stuck to the school schedule, lots of extra hours, and you're just kind of at the mercy of whatever is going on. So I had started to get curious, and I had also started to hear about gut health, like from scientific studies, to where it wasn't just like this thing that somebody cooked up. So this was all happening, and then COVID hits and the world shuts down. So at that same time, there was a halftime PE position that I had had my eye on for multiple years, and it came open. And I was like, okay, I want to do this because, again, we're talking about starting a family. So we go ahead, apply for it, interview for it, take it. The next month, we're like, ooh, we probably should have looked at the budget a little bit more because it would have been very, very tight. Well, praise Jesus, I had started to get curious and I had started to ask questions. I had started to refollow my sister. And we decided, you know what? If my sister can do this business and do it well, I can do it too. Why not? Why shouldn't I? If she can do it, I can do it. Why not? Why not? So we just jumped in, didn't know the first thing about gut health, didn't know anything about the products. Quite frankly, didn't think we needed them. Certainly didn't think we'd see any changes because we were already healthy, eating well, exercising, all of those things. And so we're just like, okay, let's just do this. And we started specifically for the business. And now that's not how most people come to Plexus. Most people come for the products. And then it's like, holy cow, I have to tell people about this. But I was the exact opposite. Maybe a little bit of a thick skull, but it took me a minute to see all of the changes in my sleep and energy and all of these other like digestive things. My husband hasn't had a sinus infection, all of these things. It took me a while to actually like, yeah, that is changing. But financially, that's where we were looking. I was looking to supplement the other half of my teaching income. And so within about 6 or so months, we did that. I was really really excited about it. And so I say this because I know that finances tend to be a very large obstacle for people trying to get their health better. It's a struggle. Like, it's hard to invest in yourself. And I hope this does not come off bragging, but we have never paid for our products out of my teaching income or my husband's income. It has always come for both of us straight from my Plexus income since day one. So if you're sitting here like, oh, this sounds really good, but I can't even get started. Yes, you can. It might get you a little bit uncomfortable and doing things that you never thought you'd be doing, but there's growth there, and growth is beautiful. Growth means change. Change is coming, and change is not bad. Change is good. We're meant to change. And so we ended up getting supplementing that other half. And so consistently for the last 2.5 years, I have been a half-time teacher. We now have a 2-year-old almost in a couple of weeks. And it's been taking care of our mortgage nearly every single month for 2.5 years. And so you guys, when we're talking, like, when you hear people say that this is life-changing, that's what we mean. Like, you can stay home if that is what your heart is like aching for, stay home with babies and still earn a living and a respectable living where you're helping people and building genuine relationships. And so it's just been a massive, massive gift. So 6 months in, we got the mortgage and fully supplementing the other half of my teaching income. Fast forward to 3 weeks ago, I wrapped up my teaching career. And then, gosh, a couple months ago, like, we're expecting baby number 2 to come at the end of September. And in all of this craziness, we are also moving to Boise. And again, like Carly said, it's a different market than where we currently live. And so stopping my teaching job while also moving, while also adding a baby, like, one, there's growth, and the relationship with Jesus has grown so much through this process. You'll hear some people talk about network marketing as personal growth with a paycheck. And you guys, if you dive in, and not just like referral program dive in, but like, if you do this, and if it's like, you know what, no backdoor, the way Carrie's talking, that's what happens. Like, things change inside of you. Things change in what you're looking for. And it's a gift that I thought also people were crazy for. I'm a little bit on the skeptical side naturally. I mean, hello, Enneagram 6, if anybody knows that, like, real big into that. And so it's just like the fact that we are able to move up to Boise and know that it's going to be like, we don't have all the steps. Our house hasn't sold here. We don't have a house up in Boise yet, but there's so many things that have just been happening. And it's like, you know what, this is what you're going to go do. And so had we not started our Plexus business, my husband the other day, as we were talking about moving up to Boise, he said, Abby, there is no way that if you hadn't started your Plexus business that we would even be discussing moving to Boise. There is no way. And let me tell you guys, for the last 7 years, we have been talking about moving to Boise. 7 years, we have been talking about moving to where there are mountains and trees and trails that we can take our children on and raise our children in that lifestyle. And because of our Plexus business and stepping out in crazy, like, not knowing the plan, it's changing our lives. It's going to change where we raise our children. And so, like I said, when you hear this has changed our lives, like, there's a story behind that. It's not just some like cliche. It's a legitimate, like, this is changing our lives and we are living in it right now. And it's a little crazy. It's a little chaotic, but oh my gosh, like, how exciting to see change, to see those desires that you had in your heart just start to come to fruition because you took a crazy step and you got unskeptical, or you got your questions answered and you just did it, not knowing what you were doing. But that's okay, because as you're going, you get to learn. And as you're learning, you also get to earn a paycheck. Like, nobody comes to network marketing knowing what they're doing. Nobody does. It's all skills. that you can learn as you go. So I just want to encourage you guys. I set a timer on my phone so I would not over talk because I like to talk. So that's why I've been looking at my watch, but it's going off, it's buzzing. And so I'm going to wrap it up. But I just want to tell you guys, like, for real, if you are here, one, thank you for giving us your time. Like, that's a beautiful thing because you guys could be spending time with your families and you've chosen to come listen about network marketing. Maybe you're skeptical like I am or was. And, you know, hopefully you found some inspiration from this. Like maybe things can be different. Maybe you can, whatever your big dream is that's on your heart, maybe that's something you can do. Maybe that's getting out of debt. Maybe that's going on the vacations. Maybe it's Disney World. Like who knows what that is for you? For me, it's the trails, it's the mountains, it's the trees, it's time home with my babies. So ask any question, get in touch with whoever was here with you, whoever invited you, and just ask. It's an open book. Like nothing is off limits. I think we're all pretty transparent. So thanks for letting me talk. Sorry, I went a little over. I appreciate you guys. Lacey, wrap us up.
You are just fine. These stories are giving me goosebumps, you guys. I can't speak enough about everything that all three of these ladies said. I too have seen a lot of the life. I know that word life-changing is so kind of terrible to hear, but and cliche. But my family's in the same boat. We are moving out to the farm I grew up on. We're like buying the farm and ranch, which is crazy. We would never have done this. What if I didn't jump into it? And what if my friend never told me about it? Like I would not feel as good as I feel. And I certainly wouldn't have the financial blessings that our family has had. All of these ladies on here are definitely open books. If you guys have questions, talk to whoever invited you here. We would love to share more. And I hope you guys learned a little bit and were inspired a little bit. And thanks for taking your time to be here. I know it's hard in the summer. And it's crazy with family stuff, but we really appreciate you being on. So have a good night, everybody.